How's it going, YouTube? Hesher Sits here, back in another One Piece video. So today, I've been thinking about this for a while, and quite honestly, this video is somewhat informational, but then also I'm really trying to figure this out because the whole One Piece has actually just blown up in the last month or so. Cases of OP01 from the first wave to the third wave, or maybe it's the second wave. I'll get into that in a bit. They've just shot up. They were I bought a case like 3 or 4 months ago for $3,000, my second sealed case, and I'll show you it here in a little bit. But those cases are over $10,000 now. You can't find a case on eBay for less than 17,000. They've gone absolutely nuclear. But what I wanted to talk about today was what I've pieced together so far, and to kind of get some discussion, hopefully, in the community. And maybe I will go out to Reddit and ask this. But a lot of people that play the game in the One Piece TCG Reddit get really mad when you talk about collecting and investing. But anyway, so as most people know with One Piece, there's no first edition. However, when they were translating the Japanese text to English, they kind of omitted some words, so they went back and corrected some cards. There's 75 cards, 6 of which are dupes, meaning they corrected both of them. So, like, for example, this Luffy card here, there's one of these that is the regular version, and then this is the altar. They changed the text on both of those cards, which I think there's actually more than, well, when I say dupes, I mean, I'm trying to think here, meaning, well, I guess everything would have a dupe. There would be a Nami rare card and then the Nami alternate art. So I guess there's more than that. But as far as what I would say, okay, I'm trying to work this out because I wrote this all down, but I think I got it a little bit mixed up. But so there's 11 cards that have alternate arts that have gotten the text changed. We know that. And then there's also box toppers. I believe 3 of them. It's like Cat Viper, what's her name? Alvida, or whatever her name is, the blue one. And then what's the other one? The other green one. I can't remember it, of course, off the top of my head. I just can't. But there were 3 box toppers that they changed text as well. But what we're going to talk about today is the alternate art errata and the pre-errata cards, and how to tell the difference between the both of them. Now, if you search in Google One Piece errata, the first link that probably is going to come up is going to be the One Piece site, and they actually take you through all of the cards that have been corrected. There's certain cards from, I think, Usopp's War Rubber Band of Doom was corrected in like OP03. There's actually a starter deck, the Uses Captain Kidd, the 7-cost blocker. They changed the word like character, I think, to card or something like that. Like from the super pre-release compared to when they did the regular starter deck. So you can kind of, but that's easy to tell because there's a super pre-release. Now, where it gets crazy is all of the OP01 cards, like these cards. So we've got 11 cards here, and unfortunately, I have not collected any of the pre-errata, so I don't have any examples to kind of show you. As I've kind of I just focused on pre-errata cards in my collection. So you got the Luffy. Luffy, the way you can tell the difference is they added up to where it see where it says set one of your supernovas. They changed it to set up to one of your supernovas. So that was one of that. Law, we're gonna kind of law actually. Okay, we'll go ahead and actually talk about these in order. Why not? So law is interesting. There could be another card like this, but so far, probably the 2 most expensive cards in the set would be Law and Nami. Obviously, Nami for, she gets the waifu tax. But a little known fact about Law is there's actually 3 versions of Law. Now, the first version is this one. This is the pre-errata version. And then in the second version, they added up to in version 2, which I believe, and I haven't been able to confirm this, because a lot of people say that there was wave 1, and then there was wave 2 with the blue bottom boxes where they corrected all the cards in wave 2. And then wave 3 was the reprint. I actually believe that there was wave 1, and that has all the pre-errata cards. Wave 2 has all the errata cards that were fixed. But then wave 3, the last wave of the blue bottom boxes, also has the version 3 and the version 3 of Law and Nami, where they were corrected again, which is what I'm kind of talking about here. So then in version 3 of Law, and you can go out on eBay and look at the different versions of Trafalgar Law. Unfortunately, on One Piece's errata site, it only has the most recent version. So the way you can tell version 3 is it actually says they changed your hand to owner's hand. So you can kind of see here where it says your hand right there. If it says owner's hand, that means it's version 3, most likely, I believe. If I got that right. I hope I did. This is like, it's so confusing going through this, but there are ways to tell. So what I would say, if you really want to know, just go out to eBay and look for different versions of Trafalgar Law Leader, and you'll be able to find ones that have owner's hand, ones that have up to, ones that don't. This one doesn't have up to, and it doesn't have it says your hand. So version 2 has up to, but it also has your hand still. And version 3 has owner's hand. Kaido Leader is another one they added up to, and they added a second Dawn, I believe, deck, and set a Dawn as active. So you actually add one card from your Dawn deck and set the Dawn as active or something like that. So yeah. So then you have Kinemon. Not much about Kinemon. They just added up to, but they did it twice in his. It's like play up to one type character with a cost of 1/3 or less from your hand, or something like that. But they added up to twice, and then it's set up to one of your, because you don't actually have to set it. That's the reason why they changed it. It's not really a rule. So King is another pre-errata card. They added up to twice for him. Ulti, where's Ulti? Added up to, and they also added Dawn again to that card. So you should be able to, you can go out to One Piece's website. Mihawk, added up to. Queen, they added, it actually says then give up to on it, which I think is somewhere around like the Dawn deck. This character gains rush. Give up to one of your characters. Yeah, something like that. So it says up to, essentially. Then Uses Kid, they added card and the character up to section. So if this character is rested, your opponent cannot attack any character. So it's like, what is it? You may, I think it says, I think the new one would say, Errata would say, you may rest this card, then play up to one character card with a cost of 3 or less from your hand. And then you got Trafalgar Law, which added, this one added quite a bit. It added the thing that says of your characters to the owner's hand, and then it also added up to. So like you may return one character, and they changed it to you may return one character, then play up to one of your characters, like something, I don't know. But anyway, a good way to tell is if it has owner's hand instead of your hand. That's one way to tell. And then Nami, of course, that's the big dog. So the best way to tell with Nami, version 2, where it says look at 5 cards from the top of your deck, reveal one Straw Hat Crew. Version 2 will have look at 5 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to one Straw Hat Crew type character card other than Nami, and add it to your hand. Version 3 removes character. So if character's not there and up to is before the 1, you know it's a version 3 Nami. It'll actually say look at 5 cards on top of your deck, reveal up to one Straw Hat Crew type card other than Nami, and add it to your hand. So meaning that you can actually add, I believe, like I think guard point is not actually a character card, but I think you can add it to your hand when Nami searches. Somebody please correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I believe that's how it works. So those are like the 11 alt art. There's actually 75 cards, including some of the dupe cards. So the cards that have alternate arts, I would say. So there's actually like maybe like around 65 cards that are actually changed, but if you count the alternate art cards as well, it comes out to like 75 cards. All right. So now that that's kind of what's the, I guess somewhat kind of, I hope that helps being able to differentiate some. If you want to collect like pre-errata cards and errata cards, just things to be aware of like that. Do your research, really go online and look. I really can't just say everything, but all I can say is these are the 11 cards that are alternate arts, and probably the more the expensive ones that people are going to want down the road, that have errata, pre-errata, and in some cases like Nami and Law, they have a second errata card. So the other thing I wanted to talk about are the cases. Oh goodness. All right. So what we have here is a sealed case of Romance Dawn. I opened 3 of these. This is my 4th case that I kept sealed. At the time, I was upset that it had a label on it, but as far as I know, and I'm gonna go under the assumption that there were 3 waves of OP01 in what I would say are the square boxes. The reprint wave that came out in like April, May or something like that of 2023, they changed the boxes to more rectangular shaped and with white bottoms. I don't have one to show, unfortunately. I didn't buy any of them. And then the blue bottoms are square. Well, wave 1 through 3, unless someone corrects me and it's only 2, are square boxes, and they could have pre-errata, errata 1, or errata 2 cards in them. As far as I know, there's no way to tell by looking at a case with no labels or anything how to tell which versions are in them. My kind of thought is that this 8-digit number, which changes from wave to wave, might be an indicator, but I didn't open up any wave 2 or wave 3. And I also didn't open up any wave 4, but I don't really care about wave 4 because I know that that's errata cards. I know that those are the most recent cards. What I'm worried about is this 8-digit 14531902. This is a North American case, and I'll show you a Australian case. But what I've been able to piece together so far, and anybody please let me know if you have any other information, because I'm really trying to figure this out, because people are selling these cases for like 17,000 or whatever. You don't know if it's pre-errata or not. It might be wave 3 and just have all the same cards that that the current release has. I mean, the whole idea of being able, people will say wave 1. Well, how do you know it's wave 1? Like this one actually has a label that says November 30th, 2022. So I know if I was going to sell this to somebody, I am confident I could say, this is pre-errata cards in it. If you're going to open it up, there's going to be pre-errata cards. I'm 100% confident of that. The other 3 boxes I opened from North America dealers all had this same 8-digit card. Okay. So the other case I have is here. All right. So this is an Australian one piece. Well, I think this is an Asia English case. As far as I understand, the digit here is 14532802. As far as I understand, the English cases that were distributed to Asia and Australia and that area were 14532802. The cases that went to Europe are 1450. Wait, did I have that backwards? 1450. Okay, 14522802. I think are the European cases. So I did talk to a guy that had a case he was selling on eBay that was 14560902. I've never seen that serial digit. He swore up and down that those were pre-errata cards in them, but I have not been able to confirm that. Now, again, the reason why you can tell that this is actually a pre-errata outside the serial number, which is what I've been trying to figure out for like months now, but people just were just ripping so much of this, and like quite honestly the only way you'd be able to tell now is if you rip up a case with a different serial number and verify what cards in it, and then have another case with that serial number and open it and maybe have different cards. I don't know if the serial numbers actually have an indication of what wave it is. So that's one thing I would ask the community to help. If anybody has any information like, hey, I opened up this serial number, this 8-digit serial number, these are the type of cards that were in it, that would be a big help, but I don't know if it'll happen. So anyway, sorry to show this guy's address, but whatever. He actually, when he mailed it to me, he essentially bubble wrapped it and then he just mailed it to me, and I almost sent this back. It was like $3,000, but I'm glad I didn't, because this case is like, it's over $10,000 now. But you can see the date here, because they do it different than United States, is 30/11/2022. So that would be November 30th, 2022. Looking at this case, that that it has pre-errata cards in it. So that would be my. I hate it when shops but these cases are so thick, I can kind of understand why they do it. I like to have I have one case of each release. Well, two for Romance Dawn, one for Paramount War, and one for Pillars of Strength. I haven't picked up a spare case of OP04 yet, but I'm going to at some point in time. I would assume those spike sometime next year when the stock starts drying up. But I guess the reason why I want to make this video is two reasons. I don't want people getting ripped off when you pay exorbitant amount. I see a lot of people list on eBay pre-errata cards, and they're not pre-errata cards. So be aware of that when you're buying stuff on eBay. The second thing is, unless the One Piece case has a label on it that says like November 2022 or early December 2022, it's probably not going to be pre-errata cards. And I don't have enough information to know whether or not the 8-digit serial number would signify what wave it's from. I didn't open up any of wave 2 and wave 3. I kind of checked out. I opened up 3 cases and I had a case. I was like, I don't need any more cards. And then when wave 4 came out and the cases went down to 3,000, that's when I bought a pre-errata case, because I knew the guy told me it's pre-errata, it's wave 1. I got it in November of 2022, so it's all good. So anyways, I hope that video wasn't too confusing. It's just something I'm going to continue to research it. I just think it's a neat part of the hobby. I don't typically like manufacturer error cards. That's not really a thing, but I think little changes in text and things like that in cards is kind of a cool thing in a hobby to collect, and I just wanted to get that information out there. Hopefully it helps somebody. Hopefully it saves somebody from getting ripped off. But the big thing from it, don't buy a one piece OP01 sealed case without verifying that it's pre-errata, if that's what you're out for. And quite honestly, I wouldn't buy any blue boxes anyway. If they say they're wave 1, they're probably lying. They could be from wave 2 or wave 3, and they have the exact same cards in it that is in Romance Dawn that's still being printed today. So I don't know. It is what it is. But anyways, hope that video helps some. And if you have any questions, please comment below, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.